Hey everybody, One of Wisdom here. It is an awesome day. It is Thursday, October 2nd, 2014. I got my hands on some really cool stuff. A whole bunch of Skylanders, some Trap Masters, some new core characters, some minis, the Xbox One console starter pack, and most importantly at this point in time, the 3DS starter pack. 3DS, I'm a big proponent of this for anyone that is big time into the Skylanders or has kids or friends that are. Each 3DS game, SSA, Giant, Swap Force, and now Trap Team, is a standalone story. It's not a scaled down version of what you play on the console. You're not like duplicating money that you spend on the console for the same game in the 3DS handheld format. It is a standalone story with totally different villains, totally different storylines, and in some cases completely different gameplay mechanics. That is the case once again with Trap Team. I believe I was the first person to actually break news of the pricing on the 3DS. It was at E3. Went to the Nintendo side of the world to get some hands-on experience with Skylanders before going to the booth for everything after hours. Primarily because the booth was packed with people trying to get this guy, the Riot Shield Shredder, and Nintendo's awesome anyway. Went over there, got to talk with Jin, and he does some really cool stuff. He had a ton of information. I could tell he wanted to tell us more, but he couldn't. And one of the things that he did tell us is the starter pack was $64.99. I knew by that something was up. In the past, the 3DS starter pack has always been $74.99. That $10 price cut kind of caught you by surprise. Couldn't quite figure out, what the deal is. Are they hoping it moves more units or what? Did they cut something out of it? That's kind of what they did. In the past, you'd have like your stereotypical 3 characters, but one of them was special and exclusive to the 3DS. Going chronologically, SSA, we had Dark Spyro, the original Dark Spyro. Giants, we had Punch Pop Fizz, and then in Skylander Swap Force, we had Volcanic Eruptor, Series 3 Lava Barf Eruptor variant, if you will. So a lot of people hated that. I thought it was really cool, in part because I'm a big 3DS person. That said, didn't do that this year. And then if you think, okay, well, we got 2 traps, right? No. The traps are not included in this, physical traps, like you see here that you would plug into the Traptanium portal. This is going to be scaled back. Most important upgrade they made was with the Swap Force version last year. They actually fixed the biggest issue, which was having to take your Skylanders in the portal with you. They went from the 2 format to your entire roster. That has been maintained. They were extremely tight-lipped about this until here recently. Now, interesting thing, and it kind of makes you wonder, the feature, it has Barkley. Obviously, the minis are playable in this game. And then Gusto, which is featured. But then you're like, oh, well, yeah, Sure Shot Shroom Boom is there too. No, he is not. I don't know quite. I don't know if at some point in time they plan to have him in here and make it the usual 74. I don't know if they plan some Shroom Boom, Sure Shot Shroom Boom type, 3DS exclusive, kind of like that, or what it was going to be. It might just be that the artwork looks better like this. I honestly don't know. But it's odd that he is there and then he's not, included in the starter pack, unless there's some awesome surprise I don't know of. But what is included? The game, the 3DS Portal of Power, Gusto, and of course, Barkley, the red-based mini version of T-Rex. So, he is actually up here on the Skylands island, so we can do a comparison. A lot of people didn't realize, but those minis have been like the sidekicks as they were previously known. They've been hanging out back there this whole time. I just usually have the camera tilted down. So this is what it looks like, about the same size as usual. Graphics very nice. They don't seem to have that same pop as the console starter pack, but I'm not going to complain. Gusto looks wicked cool. We'll start on the left-hand side, just because that's what I did last time, and it comes before R alphabetically, so it makes sense. And included inside, video game character poster. The 3DS one's usually scaled down. Obviously, the villains aren't going to be on there, so this may actually be more desirable for people interested explicitly in collecting the Skylanders and not necessarily the villains. If there's any people who fall into that category. Or if you're just an obsessive collector, you can have 2 different posters when you get this starter pack. Portal of Power, going to be interesting to see how that looks. You get the 2 Skylander figures, Gusto, the Trap Master from the Air Element, and of course Barkley, the Life Element Mini. Trading cards, sticker sheets, and 3 AAA batteries. Cool thing is, they usually do like brand name batteries instead of that like cheap crud that doesn't last any. There's a snapshot kind of showing, you know, you put them on there, you put them on here, you get them in the game, yada yada. Other side column, Nintendo 3DS featured prominently right at the top. Skylanders Trap Team logo, 60 plus to collect this time around. Magic element highlights, we've got Blastermine, Cobra Cadabra, Fizzy Frenzy, Pop Fizz, and Spry. Undead element, Crypt King, Funny Bone, Batspin, and Hijinks. I really hope Batspin comes out before Halloween. Funny Bone is here, I'll unbox him shortly. He looks really good in person. Earth element, Trapmaster, Wallop, Newlanders, Fist Bump, and Rocky Roll. And of course, Bop. He is a new mini, if you will. Fire element, Trapmaster, Wildfire, Newlander, Torch. New mini, Weeruptor, and then of course Series 2 Hogwild Frino. Lastly, in the air element, of course, we've got the Air Trapmaster Gusto. I've got high hopes for the air element this year. Thunderbolt looks awesome. Got high hopes for Blades. And I think Fling Kong is going to be ridiculously fun. Even though he's not pictured. Blades, should get him this Sunday. I'll grab his legendary form as well. Full Blast Jetvac. I'm a big Jetvac fan, so cool to see him back. And Breeze, yet another new mini. On the back side, Capture Evil, Unleash Good. Let's see. Villainous nightmare creatures have escaped. You know what? I'm going to drop this up, and you'll just look at this so I can read it easier. Villainous nightmare creatures have escaped from the realm of dreams and placed all of Skylands under a terrible sleep spell. You and the Skylanders now have the amazing ability to capture the villains and return them to Skylands to fight for you. Begin the ultimate 3D adventure as you explore the Skylands in search of the escaped villains. So, if you think, wait, what about Chaos and, you know, the Cloud Cracker prison? Totally different story. I cannot stress it enough. It's going to be awesome. Realm of Dreams, that actually involves Dreamcatcher from the Doom Raider bios I read off last night. Artwork here, interestingly, again, it's got Wallop and Shroom Boom, neither featured in the starter pack. That said, Gusto's highlighted in hand on the portal, and then in the game, we've got Explore a Mystical New World, Embark on an epic new 3D adventure. There's Barkley on a snowball. That's interesting. And then we've got Capture and Play as villains and Battle to Save Skyland. So, Toys for Bob, of course, Beanox, you know the drill. Ratings. All Skylanders, Spyro's Adventure, Skylanders Giants, and Skylanders Swap Force toys work in the Skylanders Trap Team game, which is awesome. And now, the only downside is you literally have to put them all in the game, but it's good to get them out for a little while. Play with some old favorites. The Castaways, some of my favorite characters, Ghost Roaster, Boomer, Voodoo, Dino Ring. It's nice to get those guys involved. So, that said, nothing on the bottom that we care about, so we're going to go ahead and cut into this and see what we've got. Bear with me, the can light is out. I know it's been out for a while. Actually, what happens is anytime that I change a bulb, it's like literally right after I take the ladder away, another one goes out. I kid you not. As soon as I change this one, there's going to be another bulb out. So pay attention to the shadows, kids, because they'll be moving as soon as I fix this light. Alright, anyway, what we have in here, that little slot there, you think, what's that? That is the game. We're actually going to, let's do it first. I was going to say save it. Artwork there matches what we see in the front. Sure Shot Shroom Boom, which again, he's actually a really good character. He was fixed in Swap Force. I know he didn't have a figure in Swap Force, his Giants figure. He had this and Light Core. But he had Paramushroom Promotion, and then the, can't think of his defensive path, but that defensive path had an issue where you would shoot the shrooms and it would automatically, you know, destroy itself, which was a power, but that's not what was intended. They fixed it in Swap Force. He should be greatly more appreciated in this game with his Series 2 figure. So here's your typical 3DS size case. The cool thing is it's not wrapped in plastic. You don't have to deal with that. Let's see here. We've read that, so I'll spare you from that. There's Gusto, Blades, Full Blast, Jetvac, and Breeze, Tough Luck, High Five, Sure Shot, Shroom Room, and Whisper Elf. Skylanders.com, you can find all the information. Some screenshots you've already seen. Here's the moment of truth. Bet you didn't see that coming. If you're a 3DS person, you knew it was going to look like that. I don't have any complaints. Now, is this Club Nintendo this time? Yes, it is. A lot of people don't realize that since Skylanders Trap Team, you know, is like exclusive to the 3DS, in this format, you actually can register this and get Club Nintendo points, which again, if you're not a member of Club Nintendo, you need to be. You basically get free stuff for registering games and answering surveys. So highly recommend it. It's how you can land some really cool stuff. Box, awesome. I'm going to keep that. It actually seems like a thicker wall than the console starter pack, ironically. Alright, so here we go. Backside, that's what we want. Pull this off. It is really hard to get this off without like having that tape residue. So just be warned of that. You're not going to tear anything up. It's just kind of something to be aware of. Let's go ahead and free Barkley. Just as a heads up, there is going to be a gnarly Barkley, I guess. Gnarls Barkley, I don't know, gnarly Barkley. I will actually be able to showcase those to you because we have the 3DS version. With the Trap Master, try really hard to not break the Traptanium stuff. Good lord. That was interesting. The reason I say that, it shouldn't break, but I mean, it's one of those things, if you grab them by the base, you eliminate the risk of maybe doing that or bending it too far or something. Gusto looks awesome. More on that shortly. Here are our AAA batteries, which again, the plastic in this thing is super tight this time. A little force from the bottom. Again, Duracell. Nice name brand stuff here. They don't fool around. And lastly, the Portal of Power. Let's see if we can free it from its plastic cotton. Man, this is some intense packaging this year. Alright, so the good news is once you unbox it, you never have to do it again. This is the Portal. I don't know what color the ring is actually going to be. That's going to be interesting. There's your battery door. It's got the you know, protectors for your furniture, or whatever you set it on, table glass. Kind of an anti-skid feel to it, just like the big one. You got your typical Skylanders hieroglyphs, if you will. Maybe Hugo can translate them for us. The way this works in the 3DS, it's got that same, you know, little click on, click off, if you hear that. And then you line this up with the 3DS sensor, which you can see right there. That's going to be how the amiibos and everything work as well. That's how you get your Skylanders in the game. So we've got it. We're going to get the batteries in it shortly. Let's go ahead and open up our little instruction package here. Alright. Got that set to the side. There's the poster. There's the instructions, which we don't really need that stuff in our life. We kind of know what we're doing at this point in time. It is our fourth go around. I feel pretty confident in my skill set. Let's do the poster. Let's do the poster. It is folded very small because it's a 3DS and everything's compact and fun and portable. So it's going to be a different poster, which is going to be cool. I'll get you dimensions on my site or the Skylander Club Forum, and that way if you want to frame it immediately when you pick it up Sunday, you can do that. It is always awkward working with folded paper. I don't know why. It's haunted me throughout my life. I actually kind of like this poster better. Of course, it doesn't have the villains, so that part's kind of sad. But I mean, if, like I said, if you just want the characters, this would be really cool. Maybe you've got like one half of your room for characters. Villains get a special display section. This would be a nice piece of art. Alright, if I can fit this in, which I kind of can't. There's the Skylanders Trap Team up top. Left to right, we've got Food Fight, Gusto, Trigger Snappy, Barkley, Spry, Crypt King, and Torch. You've got your two unknowns, which again, I believe that will be the new elements. Magic. You know what I'm going to do? I'll make a standalone video on this thing for you. The 3DS poster with the dimensions in that. And I'll cover these one by one. But this is kind of a rough look at it. You got magic, air, fire, and life. Whereas on this side, bottom to top, you've got tech, undead, earth, and of course water. So I will set that aside. I'll get the dimensions. I'll try to do like a side-by-side of those posters for you. But right now, let's take a look at Barkley's stat card. Now, in addition to the stat card, he gets the sticker sheet. You've got the Barkley artwork, his name. Below that, a QR code and web code. I'll hold Barkley up here at the Skylanders Academy of Lancelot and take a look. As you can see, pretty simple stuff here. Power 100 of 250, armor 110 of 250, agility 100 of 250, and luck 90 of 250. Add all that up, and what do we have? We've got 400 of 1,000. And if you think, wait, is that a higher statistical number than Food Fight? Yes, it is, and it's not far behind the Trapmaster Snapshot, which came in at 500 of 1,000. So, pretty interesting stuff. I'm kind of excited to see how these guys play. While we're on the topic of Barkley, let's take a close look at the guy. You've got your red base to indicate that this is the mini version of Barkley, the one functional in the game, the one dedicated to Skylanders Trap Team. You got the pulse cannon there. You've got the typical T-Rex design. I think I took T-Rex off of the pool. No, I didn't. I'm awesome. Alright, so here we go. There's the full-size T-Rex in my hand. There's the miniature version, Barkley. I know what you're thinking. Wait, wasn't there a sidekick of him? Yes, there was. There was T-Rex and Giants, and there was Barkley and Giants. Here the two guys are side by side. Can you tell them apart? Probably not right now if I do a bunch of this stuff, unless you realize I left him in my left hand. But what I'm getting at is the base. That is the difference. Left side, we have the Trap Team version, the mini, and then in my right side here, we have the orange base. Again, they kind of contrast, blend in a little bit, but this is the Giant Sidekick version. First thing I will do on the console version is I'm going to have the minis, Barkley and Mini Genie, because that's the two I've got, and I'm going to put the sidekicks in and see if they follow them around and be really annoying. And it should just be funny to see. So here these are side by side. They honestly seem to look identical. The colors seem pretty much spot on to me. I apologize about them not being in the frame. I was looking over the camera. They both have that kind of like charred or burnt look as well, which is kind of odd. Only thing I'm seeing, biggest difference, and this is actually an error. I guess it's probably like too much paint on my sidekick guy. So Trap Team Mini Barkley actually looks aesthetically better than mine. Which again, I think that's actually just like a factory issue with the paint there. But for all intents and purposes, for those that don't really analyze things to the extreme, they look exactly the same. So there they are. He's with T-Rex. And again, for those of you that like this sort of thing, this is Gnarly T-Rex. There will soon be a Gnarly Barkley, so you can have some fun with that one. And if you wanted to take both paths and you're going to buy two Barkleys or something, now you can hold out. You can wait for Gnarly, assuming he's easy to come by, and you should be home free. Alright, Gusto. We've got the sticker sheet. There's that artwork that you can put on your poster. Storage container, Powerade tackle box, whatever it may be, the name tag to help you out, QR code and web code below that. Let's bring him up here. He looks really good. Power or strength, 130 of 250. Defense or armor, 130 of 250. Speed, agility, 80 of 250. And luck, really high at 170 of 250. Add all that up, and we have got, what, 260 and 250, which would, of course, be 510. So he statistically, at least on the stat cards, edges Snapshot by 10, which is interesting since Snapshot kind of heads it up. But I think Gusto is actually really well done. The boomerang, again, it would help if I had better light, which I don't right now. But the boomerang looks amazing in good light. I don't have my cell phone handy, or I'd actually shine it on there for you. You get an idea. I mean, it's a translucent blue. You can see my hand back there, Food Fight, Ghost Roaster everywhere in the background. He's kind of got like the little shorts, or the black belt, or the kilt, whatever it may be. There's that same symbol. I think that's some symbol to do with the Trap Masters. It'll probably be explained in the game, which I haven't played yet. But you can see it there on Snapshot. It's also present on Barkley. I've seen it on the back of Jawbreaker when I was glancing at that. He's actually pretty heavy, a little bit slam-bamish in that he tilts to the left side, but I don't think it's going to be too big of an issue. What I like, I'm a big fan of the color blue. Blue and black look really good together. This is actually kind of like a bluish green, a very dark bluish green. The belt is black. I don't know if that's like indicative of some martial arts background or something that we're unaware of. The cuffs, or the arm pads, they almost look like a really dark blue. They've got a pretty intricate design on them. I think you can kind of see it there. I really don't know how to describe the design other than to just show it to you. Eyes, we've got yellow with a black pupil. He's kind of got like the winged ears with a little air element logo kind of intricately hidden in. He's got the air element as a belly button, or maybe it's a tattoo. I don't really know. Assume that's chest on his hair, but it almost kind of looks like a, you know, feathery flock or something as well. Similar design to the arm pad right there. He's kind of got a unicorn horn thing going on up top. Not quite sure how to describe that again other than to show it to you. Air base, of course, red on the base since he's Trap Team. Very interesting texture to his shorts here. And again, I don't know how to describe those. I'm not big on fashion. I'm decent with Skylanders, so work with me. But bottom line, he actually looks really good. And again, if I had better lighting right now, I think you would be very impressed with his coloring. So that is what you get. You get the game for the Nintendo 3DS right here. You get the stat cards and the sticker sheets. You get Gusto, Air Element Trap Master. You get Barkley, the Skylander Mini version of Tree Rex, which again is playable, just like Big Tree Rex. Orange-based Barkley was a sidekick. He just kind of runs around and does cute, funny things. This guy means business. He's basically just like Gnarly and Tree Rex. He's got the full upgrade trees, which is really cool. Should be fun to play around with those guys, see what kind of trouble we can get into. The portal, it kind of looks like the original ones. It's got a little darker coloration. Let me move the Chompy out of the way. He doesn't have anything to do with this video. There's Chaos Monopoly, if you didn't know he was back there. I've got all kinds of things sitting on the pool table. There's the other green ball. I've been looking for that. It goes with Dr. Crankcase's lair. This is the SSA 3DS Portal of Power. I still actually use it just because I have it out and it's functional. But I kind of use it for display purposes. It is a much lighter color. The green arrow, you can kind of see, I mean, it's really similar, I have to say. This is the Portal of Power. It's not spec'd out for Traptanium, or Trap Team. It is a different number, 843, 841, so very, very close. Biggest difference, I think this one, roughly the same height. It's got a clear base on this one, or the ring of light, if you will, whereas this one from SSA has the green. Let's set it back, and I want to showcase, I'll get Mystic Hex down here for fans of my custom painted Skylanders. And of course Chaos from the McDonald's Happy Meals. Again, you may not have known he was back there. This right here, this was a really cool one in my opinion. This is the Swap Force 3DS portal. And again, so obviously Swap Force here, Trap Team here. It looks like they kind of went back to the SSA Giant route and were just like, yeah, we've got a design, let's use it. And in all honesty, you basically use this portal to put the character in the game and then you never use it again. You can, I mean, theoretically you will when you like transfer characters around and stuff, but it's not like a constant. If you load up your characters and you're in the car, you probably don't take the portal with you. Whereas the Traptanium portal for the console versions, that bad boy is designed to be aesthetically pleasing because you see it and you interact with it all the time in Trap Team. So, again, this one was actually really well done. It's a little bit lighter. But here the two are. The SD card timed out on me. But as you can see, I used this one for the little Swap Force 3DS version. And that's kind of how it looks powered on. This one should look just like that one, which let's see. It's still got battery life, ladies and gentlemen. I do use it from time to time. So that's roughly, if I had the batteries in this one, it would look like that. So kind of gives you an idea. In fact, I may turn the camera off and open up this battery compartment, put it in, and see if this lights up or something. That'll complete the unboxing of the 3DS. Probably the only person that'll do that for you. So let me turn this off and do that, and I will be right back. As promised, didn't leave you hanging. This, I promise, this is the brand new Trap Team portal. Just put the batteries in it. I'm going to go ahead, we're going to click down and see, mainly, A, what it looks like, and then B, if we get any light out of that. So let's press it down. I'll try to showcase it where you can see both. Yes, you do. That is freaking awesome. Let me kill the lights really fast. That's a really deep blue color, too. Oh, yeah, that thing lights up. I know the camera doesn't show it as well, But I mean, it is lighting up the entire, that gives you an idea, man. This thing is awesome. They did improve this in my opinion because that is sick. It is putting out a ton of light for the 3DS portal. I mean, you can see all my Skylanders down there. Let me hit it again. I'll grab the, I'm using it as a light. This is the Swap Force portal. Here they are side by side. Again, this one had the cool arches, but that ring at the bottom that lights up is really cool. So it's not red like you would associate with, say, you know, your Trap Team Skylanders, but it is got that sweet, sweet portal blue, if you will. So I think that is awesome. That is a very pleasant surprise. I'll press that. I'll run and hit the lights real quick. Alright, trying not to trip over Skylanders. It was traps, ironically, that I nearly tripped over. But that is awesome. That is just, I did not anticipate that. To kind of, you know, showcase this one to you, it does have the green at the bottom and lights up green. Actually, that one has the hieroglyphs on the SSA one. It's been a while. But this one is just, it's blue and it's awesome. So I am very, very satisfied with the way this little portal goes. So that's what you need to get your characters into the 3DS to play them in the game. I'm actually going to bust out Animal Crossing, and believe it or not, and we're going to put 3DS version in. I'm going to get some characters loaded up, and we're going to take a look at the roster in a standalone video. So stay tuned for that. That said, $64.99 is the price for the 3DS starter pack. I know I've said this a few times, but you get the game, your stat cards, your sticker sheets, Gusto. You get Barkley, the mini, not the sidekick, but the mini, that has the full upgrades like those two guys. You get the portal, which turns out to light up blue. In addition to that sweet translucent clear part, it actually lets light emanate through, so that is a nice touch. That is about it. Again, the game, the biggest thing I can tell you, the 3DS version, once again, it is totally different than your console version. This is in the realm of dreams, the sleep spells all over Skylands, whereas the console version, you're dealing with Cloudcracker Prison. So, totally different. Swap Force, you know the story there, Chaos and his mom, whereas in the Swap Force 3DS, you dealt with Count Moneybone. So, if you haven't picked up the backlog of Skylanders 3DS games, highly recommend you do that. You can use your characters proportional to each series. Obviously backwards compatible, not forward compatible, or I guess forward compatible, not backward. You know what I mean. And basically all of your new Trap Team guys will work in Trap Team, whereas your Swap Force guys, Swap Force and this, Giants will work in Giants and forward. SSA guys like Dark Spyro, he will work in the SSA 3DS version, and then all the way up to Trap Team. So biggest upgrade came from last year, where they put the character roster in. You can actually get all your 3DS people loaded up. You can play with anyone you want to. Ghost Roaster, Boomer, Voodoo, even those castaways that I love so dearly. And they're literally a click away on your screen. I'm going to load up a Swap Force guys and see if you can still swap them around just like in the previous version. I'll let you know that. Again, I'm probably the only person that's going to bother with that. In part, I'm very passionate about the game. It's something important. It's something I feel like you need to know. And mainly it's my own curiosity as well. So I'm going to find that out. But big thanks for watching. Hopefully this helps you out. Again, $64.99. You're saving $10 compared to previous years. Game should be great. And I am looking very forward to getting that in there. Going through it, getting some of the basics down. And then, of course, checking out that roster, which will tell us about some cool characters to look for in the near future. That's it. If you do not already subscribe to me here on YouTube, make sure to do that. Best source of updates is Twitter and my personal site, oneofwisdom.com. In addition to that, I have just launched the Skylander Club Forum publicly. It is skylanderclub.com/forum. Check that out. Sign up if you have not. I'm gearing it up more towards the hardcore players and collectors. It's kid-friendly, family fun, but you're going to have some really detailed stuff. Something that your casual players may not appreciate, but the people that are genuinely into 100% completing the game, sharing all the tips and tricks, strategies, things of that nature. That's kind of how the site's set up. So if you fit that mold, I think you should check it out. But once again, Trap Team 3DS Starter Pack available Sunday the 5th here in the US. Australia, New Zealand, you people have that today. You're probably having a blast with it. So stay tuned for much, much more, and I will catch you back here for some Trap Team 3DS in-game look.